Hello, everybody. A spiritual journey begins. My name is Melissa, and I have been called to Instagram and to my other platforms to share this message of a spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening, of what it is and how it works, and how I can help you bypass some of the pitfalls of going on this journey and discovering who you really are and your true power. So I want to start off by saying this is my first live talking about this. I share a lot of content, but it's my first live, and I'll have a YouTube channel and record on Instagram and YouTube and possibly even TikTok down the line. But what is a spiritual journey and a spiritual awakening for me? Well, first of all, for me, it's been a very, very long time in the making. It's been a huge amount of ups and downs, and I've taken the long way around, which I think all in all is meant to happen anyway. But I've learnt from so many teachers living and in spirit, and now I am called to share what I've learnt so I can hopefully help others shorten the time it takes to have your awakening, or hopefully speed it up a little bit. So just really briefly, the first thing I want to talk about is what is a spiritual awakening, or in fact, what was it for me? So like I said, it really started about 5 years ago for me, but I guess I had my first glimpse of spirituality and what an awakening was in my teens, where I started to kind of go along that path and take that journey. And then life started to happen, and I got embedded in my programming again, and I fell back asleep sometime. And probably about 5 years ago was the beginning of my major awakening, when my father passed over into spirit, and my life completely flipped upside down in a good way. Well, at the time it wasn't perceived to be good, but now looking back in retrospect, I can see why everything happened the way it happened. So I want to assure you that this is the best time to be alive and to be going through a process of an awakening. And it is very, very, very exciting for so many very different reasons. But I'm just going to touch on topic by topic when I jump on these lives, and whatever comes to me, I'm going to talk about. So I'll start off really briefly with your thoughts and your feelings create your reality. And you'll probably hear a lot about that online in the spiritual community, in the sense that people talk about it a lot, but very rarely do you get the tools to understand that straight off the bat. It takes a lot of searching and a lot of digging around to actually start to understand what that means, and how to use practical tools in your life to change your thoughts and your feelings to affect your present reality. So your thoughts and your feelings create a vibration, and that vibration gets emitted, and what comes back to you matches the vibration of your thoughts and your feelings. So a lot of people look at things like manifestation, and they say, oh, manifestation is only for creating good things in your life, like abundance. The truth is, we're always manifesting, whether we are intentionally doing it or not. And most of the time it is unconscious. So everything in our life has been manifested. Everything in our life is here because we've thought about it and felt about it with an intensity that's created a vibrational frequency in the field, in the universal field. And what we have going on in our lives at the moment is a reflection of those thoughts and feelings. So manifestation, actually, when you reverse engineer it, isn't that woo-woo. It's not like this kind of secret formula. We're always doing it. It's just about becoming aware and conscious of how you're doing it and when you're doing it and what you're doing. And it's basically mainly, well, it is based around what you're thinking and what you're feeling. So what you think about and you feel about comes about. That's how I like to think about it. What I think about, what I feel about comes about. And then, we go through these challenges and things in our lives, and how we deal with those and how we show up for ourselves really, really helps embed a signature frequency that is us. So I'm jumping all over the show at the moment, so excuse me, but it will get more refined. So what we think and what we feel creates our reality. Now, to know that on an intellectual level is one thing. To understand that on an embodiment level is a completely different ballgame, because once you actually start to embody what that means and understand that you have power to change, to create, and to have everything that you've ever wanted purely by being able to create thoughts and feelings that are in line with those things that you want. So at the crux of my spiritual awakening was learning this and starting to understand this. And understanding it, like I said, on an intellectual level is great, but then you go on this kind of seeking journey to try and work out how to do that. And that can take very many different twists and turns, and you can be searching and searching and searching and searching, and in that doing energy, trying to find the answer. How do I get my life to change? How can I do it by doing more, by pushing more? And the reality of it is, the tools you need to start to see ever-changing results in your life are really, really quite simplistic. And once you learn them for yourself, and once you start to implement them, you will understand that you've had the power all along. And you see, what happens is we are born into this world, and I even believe, before we come into this world and in utero, we start to become conditioned to live a certain way. We develop a certain set of beliefs, a certain set of routines, a certain set of, and this is based on our upbringing, this is based on our culture, where we live in the world, this is based on our schooling, this is based on our friendship circles. So we develop these belief systems that develop into a personality that allow us to perceive our life in certain ways. So when you come to an intersection of a spiritual awakening and you start to become aware that this is actually how it works, it's a beautiful thing, because you start to realize that you are in control. You're in the driver's seat, and you have been the whole time. It's just that you've fallen asleep to that fact, and now you're waking up. Now you're starting to realize that the reality that you're in is all not only constructed by you and a reflection of your internal being, but that at any given moment you can choose to change that. And that's when it starts to get really exciting. That's when it starts to get juicy. So, like I said, it's taken me a very long time. I've learned off a lot of different teachers, both living and in spirit. I've tried and tested every single thing to change my life. And it all really boils down to a few simple techniques, a few simple practices to really flip your life on its head and really start creating from true flow your life's path and your life's journey. Now, look, disclaimer, we are all human, so we're all going to go through the human ups and downs and human pitfalls. We're in this earth school as a spiritual being having a human experience, which means that we are going to experience things on a human level. So we are going to fall off track sometimes. We are going to have moments where we want to rip our hair out. We are going to have moments where we react in ways that we don't want to. We are going to do those things, but the more and more we become aware and the more and more we continue to do this practice, because it is a practice and it's a lifelong practice, the more and more we do this, the more and more we catch ourselves in those moments, the more and more we can deprogram and reprogram our subconscious mind, our conscious mind, and our unconscious mind, the juicier our lives become. So what I endeavor to do is put all of my years of education and practice excited, just got really excited. I've got a nice fluttery feeling in my heart. All of my years of education, all of my years of my awakening, all of my perceived roadblocks and all of my successes, and teach people how they can just start creating the life that they've always wanted, and start revealing the person that they truly are underneath all of their experiences and programming and traumas. So if you end up following me at some point, you're doing that for a reason. The biggest thing I can say about having an awakening and going on a journey is finding one or two people or a community, one or two communities that are have the same like-mindedness as you, and really sticking with that, because we are relational beings. A spiritual journey is very personal and you have to do it alone, but we are relational beings and we learn through relationship and community. So, and I'll tell you, that's not something that I used to do. I used to think I could do everything in isolation, and that's just not so. Anyway, that's what I believe. Like, I'm just giving you all of my experience, all of my knowledge, my years and years in working with somatic psychotherapy and yoga and breath work and child parenting, and I was in the media at one stage. So all of these things have led me to a point where I now want to be able to teach people what I know to be true, and I want to be able to learn from community as well. I believe that we just never stop learning. So we are all here in this beautiful earth school to ascend to higher and higher and higher and higher dimensions, or higher frequencies, and we're all learning together. So this is going to be a regular thing. And I mean, I don't know how often I'm going to be able to jump on lives, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and create some content, some free content as well, in the form of little mini video and audios that are really going to help start to give you little tools to program your mind and to also be able to regulate yourself, regulate your I can't say that word, regulate your nervous system, and really start to come into and reveal your true essence and your true self. So yeah, if you know anybody that's beginning a spiritual journey and wants to start somewhere that's really quite easy, a nice entry point, we're going to go through lots of different content. Share this live with them and let's get this party started. Have a beautiful weekend. I'm glad I did it on a Saturday night, actually, because there's not a lot of people on live. So I got it was a nice little warm up for me. So yeah, lots of love. It's okay. It's all going to work out for you. And I'm looking forward to going on this journey. Have a great night. Have a great night.